How's it going today, Pam?
It's going really great.
Good.
Yeah.
Seeding's going good, huh?
Yes, we're working on the flowers today.
Oh, the flowers today. Peppers are germinating.
Yes.
A bunch of the herbs are germinating. It looks great.
We also started working on the next round of jalapenos yesterday.
Awesome. So we planted, what, 2 weeks ago? And now we're seeding again today. Or yesterday, whatever.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Awesome. I got a helper on the farm today.
And it's video coffee.
This storm that just passed through brought a ton of water and a little bit of cold weather. So we covered the strawberries just to be safe. We weren't as concerned with the cold weather just because it didn't seem like it was going to get that cold. But we were concerned with the amount of rain that they said we were going to have. So in order to protect a lot of the ripe fruit from getting bruised from that heavy rain, we went ahead and covered it. You can actually see the guys out here just kind of cleaning up. Because the wind got so bad in that storm, it blew off some of this cover. And so they're going it through, straightening up and making sure that we're bundled up tight just in case it gets a little colder than they think it's going to get. This little section put into rows, it'll be perfect. Now, I get the question a lot, why are our rows so far apart, right? Why are our furrows so wide? And that is because this field will be a U-pick field. It's very close to the farm store. So U-pick meaning we will allow the public to come in and pick in this field. It'll be squash or something like that, some sort of spring vegetable. And so we like to allow families to have as much space as possible. And so that's why our furrows are so wide here. The wind, while not as bad as during the storm yesterday, is still pretty significant. It's kind of whipping everything around. These onions are looking pretty good. They're enjoying all the moisture we've been having. They saw little to no damage during the freeze. And you can tell if you remember from my last video, they're growing quite a bit. We'll look for these to be ready into March, beginning of April. All right, Uncle Alfred, what do we got?
Putting our plastic on our brooder today. No wind blowing, getting a little plastic on there, so we'll be ready to go to the next step.
It's a chilly morning though, huh?
It's a chilly morning, about 33 degrees. Had a little frost on the ground.
But I bet here in about an hour or so it'll be nice and toasty in there.
Here in about, an hour, it's going to be back in the 50s.
So the brooder is hunkered down now. Got all the plastic on it. Haven't cut the windows out yet. We'll wait. We don't necessarily need them cut out yet. We'll do it once we absolutely need it. We'd prefer to keep it really bundled up. If we need a little airflow once the chicks get here, we can always open up the 2 doors. So this is half of the 100-foot greenhouse. So it's 50 by about 30. It looks good. It's already getting pretty toasty in here. We have water, power, and gas hookups. See, they're finishing up this side. This we'll put just the poultry netting on, no plastic. And they'll be able to, we're gonna pull this woven fabric up and we'll plant some ryegrass or some sort of other little cover crop out here, or we can let them out when they're still pullets and graze, and then once they get a little older, we'll put them out on pasture. All right, so we got all of the fabric up. So we can do just a light cultivation in here and get a nice cover crop seeded. So once these chicks are old enough, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, or so they have plenty of feather, they can come out and start getting used to grazing, being out on pasture. That way, when we do transition them into the pasture, they'll be ready to go for it. Keeping our equipment clean is extremely important. We obviously, during the growing season, we don't have a ton of time to do this. So days like today where it's cold, it's a pretty day, but it's wet. We've had the storm come through. It's a perfect time. We just got a big shipment of oil dropped off, oil filters. So they're getting everything pressure washed. They're getting them serviced. That way, when we hit springtime, we're ready to roll. So right now in the greenhouse, we got cilantro, we got sage, we got a few different types of basil, dill, chives, oregano, thyme, some catnip, parsley, which is mainly to sell in the store, peppermint, same thing, mainly to sell in the store. Multiple varieties of peppers, including serrano, cayenne, some different bell peppers, Anaheim, jalapenos. We got multiple varieties of tomatoes, including some of your stereotypical ones, or the old favorites like the Better Bush, the Better Boy, the Beef Master. We have my favorite over there, the Red Snapper. And then what we do here is a second iteration of everything that was planted right here. So here is week 2. This is week 1. This is week 2. And it's just a repeat. You can see it's pretty much the exact same number of trays. And then we have a few flowers over here. Again, this is mainly to sell in the store. A lot of these flowers are not for us, but we got zinnias, among other things. And then this is round 3. So you can see the catnip and parsley and all that good stuff again. And so this is an exact replica of these 2 weeks. So we're 3 weeks in. It's looking great. So this is hopefully our last chilly morning. It was about 33 degrees this morning. Light frost on the ground. Quite a bit of frost on the windshields and roofs. So we're going to start uncovering the strawberries. Let them breathe. Let them get some good sunlight. Let them ripen up that fruit. Fields are still pretty wet, but starting to dry out. We've had a pretty significant amount of wind and sun, so that should help. So as you can see, we just go 5 rows at a time. One of our bed covers covers 5 rows, and we just go 5 rows at a time, pulling them off. Field's looking good. We see lots of blooms, which is exactly what we want to see, and we see some almost ripe fruit. So I imagine we'll be picking in the next couple of days to have some fruit in the store. But what we really like are all those flowers. That's what we like to see. And you can see, looking at all these plants, the field is just covered in blooms. We're pulling turnips out of the field, a little bit of kale. Looks good. Some mustard greens. Guys are gonna get it washed, get it in the store. All right, Uncle Alfred, you're spreading some seed on the ground. What are we seeding?
This morning we're planting ryegrass seed, making a little yard for our chickens. Say when they get 3 or 4 weeks old, we want to start getting them used to being outside, and I'm just gonna spread this little ryegrass here and give them something to eat on.
This will kind of provide a nice little transition too, huh? Get them used to.
Yeah, they'll get them acclimated to being out there, and maybe get them on a little grass.
Awesome.
Bugs and everything.
And we got some moisture in our forecast, so this will be up quick.
Oh yeah, we could have. We're saying we're gonna have rain the next 5 days, so I want to get this planted, and it'll come up and be good for the chickens.
So we're putting these support beams in because we're gonna end up hanging feeders off this center pole, and we don't want it to bow. So we got these in. We also got all of this cleaned up, all the grass and stuff, so we can start stacking shavings here.